School should not be fun. Have you heard this before? Have you said it? School is often portrayed as boring and nonsense. But does it have to be? Is it supposed to be? I say no. School is supposed to be fun. Hi, I'm Jay. I'm a history teacher, and today I'm going to attack the myth that says we should keep fun out of school. We're going to talk about why school should be fun, who is responsible for this fun, and most importantly, how we can do it. If you are one that has continued the myth, don't feel bad. We're all here to learn. If after I'm done you still think school should not be fun, please let me know in the comments. What do you remember best? When you go and do something, do you remember the things that are boring? Or the things you had a lot of fun with? I know I remember the fun things more than the boring ones. In school, we want our students to remember. The more the students remember, the more successful the teacher is. In order to remember something long term, it needs to be put into our long-term memory. There are memory techniques your students can learn that will help them remember by placing something interesting into a spot in a memory palace. This is a lot of hard work, and most of our students will never master it. We can teach our students other mnemonic devices so they remember things, but if they are bored, these devices can only do so much good. Sometimes things go into long-term memory even if we don't use memory techniques. Usually this happens when emotion is involved, when we are happy, sad, angry, or any of the other ways our emotions can be elevated. Like how I remember exactly what my wife's face looked like when we got married, or exactly what everything looked like when my father passed away. Emotions are very powerful. Sometimes things go into our memories just because our brains decide to put them there. But do we want to rely on our brains just deciding that something is important enough to put into long-term memory? Or maybe we should drill and kill where we repeat it over and over and over and over and over until we're bored silly. But it gets into our memories. Or should we do something to raise these emotions to make it more likely that these memories stick with less work? Upping your emotions makes it much more likely that we will remember something. I think happy emotions are better than relying on those sad, hurt, or angry emotions. And employing fun is a good way to up that happy emotion. To be clear, I'm saying that it is more likely that things will go into long-term memory. Not for sure, of course it's going to stick. But the more likely it will stick, the more students get it, and the more successful those students will be. And as a result, the rest of the class will be more successful. And the teacher will feel more successful. Obviously, the teacher is responsible for employing the fun, right? I say yes and no. Teachers do need to do their best to make sure they're teaching fun. After all, if the teacher is droning on, she ends up sounding like the Peanuts teacher. No teacher wants to be thought of like that. But we also need to teach students to choose to have fun. Why is it that some people do exciting things with gloom and doom, while others do the most mundane things with excitement?
Oh, sing, sweet nightingale, sing, sweet nightingale.
Cinderella can have so much fun while she is doing her chores because she knows that fun is a choice. She is doing menial, horrible tasks all day long, sleeping in the coldest, dankest, worst room in the house, because of some awful twists in her background. Yet, she chooses to have fun. It is everyone's job to include fun. We can only improve ourselves. We can't improve someone else. So the person responsible for fun in your education, whether you're student or teacher, is you. Teachers, please teach your students to have fun. Do your best to include fun in your class. And I suggest having fun as an expectation. My classroom expectations are be safe, be respectful, be responsible, and most importantly, have fun. Because if we're having fun, those other things are easier, and we're going to learn more. Before we jump into that how section, I hope you like this video. If you do, please hit that like button. If you don't, feel free to hit the dislike. I'd also love it if you would subscribe, and you can hit that notification bell if you want to be alerted when I release my next video. So in order to ensure we are all having fun, let's start with the expectation of fun. And let's look at a few other things to implement. Come in with a positive attitude, no matter what. Don't let the things going on around you ruin your positivity. Fun is a choice. Teachers should teach their students to have fun, but they also need to choose to have fun. If you are positive and having fun, your students are more likely to be positive and having fun. Lead by example and choose to have fun. Help others have fun. I was on the bus one time. It had been a bad day. There was a gloomy cloud over me and nothing was going to make me feel better. I sat there wallowing in my gloom when this lady across the aisle simply looked at me and said, "Smile." She had the biggest smile radiating across her craggy face. I could not help but smile too. I even laughed a little. No, my cloud of gloom did not go away, but it did stop thundering. The simple act of caring for someone else can make their day. All teachers care for their students, or we would not be teaching. Make sure to let that care shine through to all our students all the time. Encourage your students to actively participate. Ask them questions. Encourage discourse and allow them to share. Often teachers have a mission. Their plan is first we're going to do this, then we're going to do this, then we're going to do this, then we're going to do this, and we can't get off track, or we're never going to finish. We got to finish. But our students have amazing life experiences. They know things we don't. Sometimes if we let them share their story, as long as it's not completely off topic, they will get to the same point as we do. Along the way, they may have more fun, feel more accepted, and have had a chance to lead the class, allowing the whole class to learn something. Should also employ hands-on activities, movement, and storytelling. Hands-on activities can be getting your hands dirty, doing things actively with your hands to learn something. Movement could be just getting up and moving around the room, having the chairs be in a different place, moving to small groups, and then moving back. Just little movements like that. And storytelling. I highly, highly recommend learning about the power of storytelling. Storytelling is so powerful, it allows us to connect to each other in ways that encourage remembering. When we hear stories, our bodies release chemicals that affect our emotions, and help us remember. David J.P. Phillips does a better job of talking about this than I ever could. You can go see his TED Talk here. There are so many ways to employ fun in your class. In the comments, share your favorites, please. What works best for you to help your students remember more? What helps best to help you help your students to have more fun? And for now, have a great day.